Good afternoon. Let's all stand.
Join in prayer or meditation. Choose, as I say, bless this food, do our dues, us to thy service. Amen.
Amen. Do we have a song today? A song leader?
Yeah, Chip.
Chip.
Just
Wow, you're back.
this is a little ahead of time, but as a reminder that maybe burgers and chocolates or whatever. They have time to get. Let's turn to page 12 at the bottom. Let me call you sweet. Oh, you whisper, you love me to keep the light flowing in your eyes so true. That all you sweetheart, I'm in love with Hey, ball.
Phoebe, that's a gorgeous color. Oh, that's still learning what the landing choices are. I think Paul, you might have brought a guest today.
Yeah, great. My next door neighbor, Pete Patricus. I think. Is that right? So I haven't had a chance to get to know Pete very well yet, but I know he gets up early, much earlier than I do. And I know it's supposed to be much earlier than I do, but we haven't gotten together yet to visit. So I'm looking forward to getting a little better, and I hope he enjoys visiting us today and becomes a member. Well, freebies. Yeah, you get to come as a guest 3 times, and today you.
After that, we're ready to
Time to get a bill.
We would love you to join our club. If you're welcome, I don't know if you're familiar with Rotary, but we're happy to share with you what we do here on a local level, national level, regional level, all sorts of levels. International, I forgot the international. But we thank you, you're here. And we hear your wife is married.
Yep.
Well,
Yeah.
she's welcome to join too. She, or at least you can come as a guest and get some free food off us for a little bit.
That's right.
Yeah.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Thank you. We appreciate it. We have a couple of announcements today. I have heard from Karen Jolly Davis while she is on her far-flung trip to the edges of the continent. We are confirmed for a trash pickup on March 15th. What? Oh, you're repeating me? March 15th, again, the significance, March 15th, it's a Saturday. The significance of that it's also Cape Charles Day, and that is a day of service in the town as well. And there's pickup and cleanup that happens throughout the town that morning. And around the noon hour, the council members play Chef Boyardee. No, they are actual grill masters, I think. And they cook, I think, hot dogs. I don't know if they do hamburgers as well, but I know they do hot dogs that are free for the community, and they welcome everybody who's come out that day to do service to come get some food on their behalf. So keep that on your calendar. Let us know if you're going to be able to participate for that road cleanup. Bill,
Is that shredding day?
what day?
Shredding.
Yes, it is shredding day. Yes, the town brings in the shredding company to come in. They park just outside of Central Park, and you can bring whatever you like to get shredded.
How many hours?
They're in there in the morning. Yeah.
Till noon.
Yeah.
Finish up.
You gotta finish your garbage pickup before if you wanted to get shredded.
So the way to finish the garbage pickup is if we have a lot of volunteers to help with our trash pickup. So I don't know, Jason, this one's over to you. And if you would please make the, Interact Club aware of this, they have a service in the morning. They would hopefully send some of their members to join us.
Sure.
And even non-Interact members, if there are other, high school students that need service hours built for the year, we need to try and communicate that with the high school, make them aware of this opportunity if possible.
All right.
That would be great. So again, if you would like to, you can let me know that you are coming in the most ingenious way possible. Go to the Cape Charles Rotary website, our club's website, go to the calendar, and you're gonna see it on there, March 15th, that we're doing a cleanup day, and you can go RSVP right there.
Wow.
Just put your name in that you're coming, to bring in any guests, write that down as well, and I have a head count of who's coming. So, we are trying to make slowly but surely. I'm starting to master the website. I'm getting a little more time in my life to do that. So yes, I'm trying to make sure our website becomes much more interactive for us. So I think Jim wants to announce a new opportunity for the club to do some service as well.
Yeah, for the last few years, we have handled the parking for the Habitat fundraiser, winter fundraiser, and it's a dinner at the brewery, excuse me. It's going to be on February 21st. This is an easy assignment. It's from 4 to 6 p.m. We need 2 more people. If they're available. Oh, are you raising your hand to volunteer? Oh, good. We need Stan.
We're done.
Okay. Thank you very much.
That was easy enough, Jim. How about-
That's a good idea.
So I don't have any other announcements at this point in time, except I do want to let everybody know Joan did attend the Rotary Leadership Institute, Part 1 class in Farmville. Yeah. You want to chat for just a minute about that? Was it a good experience for you?
It's a very good experience. It was in Farmville, which is about a 3.5-hour drive. Went up Friday, Saturday after the meeting was over. It was at a community center. There were 20 students and about 7 instructors, some leaders there was our zone.
Yes, he's in our zone. He used to be the district governor for our zone. Yes.
So, and it was a very interactive type of meeting. They have different instructors. Each instructor talks for about half hour to 45 minutes usually, and then they have some extra time. Some people share you off in groups to get to meet different people. It was very good, and it was a lot of interesting background information about Rotary and what some of the other clubs do for fundraising and for projects. I would recommend that anyone do that. In fact, I mentioned to Katie that Judy told me if we were interested, we could host a class on the Eastern Shore. So I think Katie's gonna try talking to Honette and Exmoor, see if we might have enough. I think they want either 10 or 20 minimum students. And if you only have to go an hour, from here to Honette, that might be worth a Saturday. And it's from 8:30 to 3:30.
Right.
So it's an easy Saturday.
So I think it's worth exploring, and that leads into, I think our preview, I think it's next Tuesday. I'm looking at Bill to make sure I'm right. We have Tracy Lego, who is our district membership chair, come and talk to us about some options of trying to look at different club types, ways that we can try and hopefully expand our membership capacity. Maybe to a younger crowd who may not have the time or the capacity to come in for a lunchtime meeting, but maybe we look at something different. So Tracy's gonna come talk to us about that. With that, Tommy Arnold, who is our Eastern Shore rep, leader, I should say, he's gonna join us as well for that meeting. So I figure we might have a conversation about, should we see if we can get us all unified to host a Rotary Leadership Institute class here on the Eastern Shore. Not only for our existing members, but we can open it up to Virginia Beach to see if they might be wanting to come over here and really expand what we're doing and letting people know we're over here and we can help in some capacity. So any other announcements at the moment? from the club members? Have I forgotten anything? Hearing none, I'm gonna do happy dollars. Who is happy or slightly depressed? Who knows? Sean.
So I'm happy to meet Pete. I find out we have something in common. We both have, he had it, I just got it right now. I've got polymyalgia rheumatic, which basically makes you paralyzed. Rick John's got it. I also realized that, like me, he's not the best in choosing potential friends. You can't pick your neighbors. You can't pick your neighbor's street. You can't pick your family. You can't pick your friends. Everybody knows and loves Paul. Paul's smartest guy in the club, most calmest man in the club, nicest guy in the club, has a beautiful wife. He's a 89-year-old, whatever. But at his core, he is a cheap bastard. We all know that. While I'm talking about this, Paul said, "Oh, I'm glad you're here. I'm thinking about putting $30." I think he said that. He might say 300. $80, you can make up the difference between the $2. And I said, no. So when I got the bill, there was no little sweet note from Paul. Thank you very much. And this, you're a sucker. Pay the $700. Nice to have you here. Check the neighbors a little bit.
Happy go.
Oh, 25?
I'll try to go for two and make it.
I'm excited. You'll make, I got some happy dollars.
Run down, okay.
Yesterday was my 30th wedding anniversary with Jen.
Oh, yeah.
I was thinking of putting $3 per decade. Nolan Burdick was here. I thought that was probably safe enough, but he put the nix on that. So I'm $30. So long.
Very true. I hope you're like quadrupling that amount of ginger that you're paying her.
Well, she's more like, it's more like sitting in the 5 or 6 figure.
Bill, are you happy today?
Yeah, but I'm not as happy as these guys. I'm happy because John is so entertaining. He brought me out of my mild depression. $5.
$5 happy.
That was. Hey, Bill, I'm a doctor too. There's not that kind of time.
Any other happiness to share?
I was $5.
$5.
I wasn't that depressed.
Joan,
I'm $20 happy.
Whoa.
We have 4 artists who have already registered for the art walk event.
Wow. Mr. Payne, I think we need to think again about the needs. I don't know, 45, 30, 20. I'll consider it. You should talk. I don't think you were ever happy.
it's getting rougher here. Anybody else happy? We're going to turn to Queen of Hearts. Queen of Hearts time. Who's got the high card today? And I'm gonna brag because Jason picked me the ace of hearts.
Oh, 2 aces of hearts.
2 aces of hearts. Wow. No ace of spades. So what do we do? Okay, Chip, you're up first. Pick a card, any card.
One just the deuce of diamonds. Good close.
I've got it over here.
Maybe get the drop.
I know, somebody else needs to hold this one.
It's something wrong with this picture.
Hold it back and I'll pick from them, okay? And while we're doing that, Paul, what's our,
$32 is, it was the take today.
okay,
So, 16 of that goes to the club, and then half of what's left goes to the pot, and half of it goes to today's winner.
so
So
I
you'll
got
get $8.
$8, all right. We like it. Let's see if I can win the Queen of Hearts would be a big winner. That'd be a no, thank goodness. We are still alive playing the game next week.
All right,
So,
here's your $8.
thank you. Well, today we have a special treat. We get to hear from one of our new members and hear his entire life story, grill him at length, so that we know everything about Hal Plisser. Come on up to the front, sir.
Oh, it's 12:57, so do I.
You got all that.
Born in Detroit, Michigan, raised in Akron, Ohio, lived in New York City and Nashville, Tennessee. And I came here about a year and a half ago. Anybody have any questions? No, I lived in the city for about a year or so with my wife, and well, initially as a bachelor, and then with my wife, and then we moved to New Jersey, and we lived there for about better part of 10 years.
Very good.
Ridgewood primarily,
Nice neighborhood.
and I commuted on the Erie Lackawanna Railroad in New York to the path tubes, and I worked on Wall Street. I was at that point in my career, I was an institutional salesman and analyst, and I traveled around the country and talked to people about the healthcare industry, which was my specialty at that point. And I got to see a lot of countries that I wouldn't have otherwise seen, but on a business trip, not on a pleasure trip. So you know, I've seen that much except the inside of the hotel room, and office building, and back on the plane and go somewhere else. So that's what I did there. I've had, this wasn't how the speech was supposed to go, but do we want to know anything else?
You got kids?
I have 4 children and 8 grandchildren. I'm proud to say all my kids graduated from college. And 2 of them have MBAs from the Kelley School of Business at Indiana University. My son is a investment analyst like I was in Sarasota, Florida, and Venice, Florida, for a firm called Ned Davis Research. And he's somewhat of a market guru. And occasionally, fairly frequently, actually, you see him on either CNBC or Bloomberg. And he talks about the stock market and economic trends and investment trends and all that kind of stuff. And I say so myself, he's pretty darn good at what he does. My daughter was at 3M and was a marketer. She's retired now. Both her, she and her husband work for 3M. During COVID, they moved to Florida. So I have 2 children in Sarasota, Florida, and 2 still in Nashville, Tennessee.
So, what did you do in Tennessee?
Well, I'm glad you asked. I was trying to go back to my notes here, but see here. I've had a very varied business career. I will say I go back, I went to Wesleyan University in Middletown, Connecticut, and then to the University of Chicago, graduate school of business in Chicago, now known as the Booth School, where I had the great honor and privilege of being at the school at the same time as Bill Payne. And so Bill and I did not know each other then. We didn't meet until I met him at a bell ringing event at Food Line, and we discussed backgrounds, and I looked him up a little bit on the internet and saw that he went to the University of Chicago and was there at the same time I was. So, that's an interesting coincidence. But after working in New York for, 10 years, we relocated to Nashville because we didn't want to basically raise our rest of our lives in New York City. And, I was involved in, primarily, well, I continued in the investment research business there for a while, but I was also involved in the real estate business. And I worked for a real estate syndication company, and which was really called Landmark Capital, which is a pretty large firm, for that particular type of business. And we did, investment properties, mainly in the Nashville area, but other parts of the country as well, including Virginia, Indiana, Florida, and other places. We did a lot of land deals, apartments, some industrial property, place called Interchange City, which we bought in Nashville, outside of Nashville. It's a big industrial business park. And let's see what else. Moore's Lane Properties. There's an area in Nashville called Moore's Lane, and the Cool Springs Mall was developed there on our property and other properties. And it's probably, I've been told, it may be the largest mall development area in the Southeast. Hard to find that hard to believe considering what you got in Florida, but anyway, it was pretty good size, and our property was the core of that particular development. And I realized, and I did everything associated with that. I helped raise the money. I managed the securities firm that, I created the securities firm. I managed the securities firm to raise the money. I did the marketing, prepared all the marketing information, like, working with the attorneys and accountants. Not all this at the same time, but over a period of years. And I began to realize that, why don't I do this for myself? So I did, and I did several ventures. I'll tell you about the most successful one. It was an apartment complex in Clarksville, Tennessee. And it was one of those rare occasions where everything went right. In fact, it went better than expected. For example, when I bought it, when we bought it, the partnership bought it, it was, thought the tax rate was going to be one thing, one particular number, and it ended up being better than that, as the taxes were lower. When does that ever happen? Well, it happened this time, and it ended up being a 13 bagger. And what that means is you didn't make 13% on your money, you made 13 times on your money if you were an equity investor. So I'll leave it at that without talking about some of the others. I then, with a couple of other people, we formed a partnership to buy 7 acres of property in Huntsville, Alabama, and build a 44,000 square foot office business park, office building, well, industrial business park. It had about 20% office in front, and warehouse and distribution in the back. And that was a very long-term investment. In fact, it lasted about 35 years. And by the time it was over, we had about 45 acres of property, 350,000 square feet, and 10 buildings. We built 8 of the buildings and bought 2 of them. And I did basically everything that was associated with that. I was the managing partner. So I had other people that helped me and who I reported to, but I did property acquisition, the financing, the property management, accounting, investor relations, whatever else had to be done. And it was my education, and it's like probably better than getting an MBA in real estate development and management. And that's what I continue to do and like to do. I'm very interested in industrial development. And I hope that I might possibly find a way to be involved in that somewhere on the Eastern Shore, somehow, some way. I don't know how, when, or where, but I'm going to try to explore that. I've also bought one investment property here on the Eastern Shore, which I plan to fix up and the process of fixing up and either renting or selling, probably selling. In addition to that, I formed an investment management company, and I was a registered investment advisor for many years, and also started a hedge fund, which I still operate the hedge fund to not to an extensive amount, but I have several clients who are in it, and I continue to do that. So let me see.
How'd you wind up in Cape Charles?
Well, I grew up in Akron, Ohio. Okay.
Oh,
It's hard remembering all this stuff about yourself. It's been so darn long ago, I can't remember. I really like the song that you sang today, Let Me Call You Sweetheart, because my high school sweetheart was Marlene Hatch. And I have a picture of us at our senior prom. And here we are, I'm in my tuxedo and she's in her fancy dress and all that, and probably my favorite picture. And my wife and I were divorced, mutually divorced, and somehow through the magic of the internet, I reconnected with Marlene Creed, who many of you know, I know, probably know her well, and knew her husband, Lemoyne, and they built Blue Heron Real Estate together. And unfortunately, he passed away about 5 years ago. And subsequently, Marlene and I reconnected and discovered that I was divorced and she was a widow, and we were still sweethearts. So I will always remember that song. I think that'll be our song from now on. I'll sing it to her every now and then. And we got engaged, and that's why I'm here. But I will say this, I have come to really like the place. It's much different than any place I've ever lived before, because I've always lived in the suburban or urban areas. And sort of like Virginia Beach or across the bay. So I like to go over there. It's nice to have it. Well, it's not really close. It's, an hour away from where I live. But I hope to continue to be involved in the Eastern Shore in a positive way. And I've been involved in Rotary. I originally became a Rotarian in 1987, I think, approximately. I was in 2 Rotary clubs in Nashville, Tennessee, or Brentwood, Tennessee, which is a suburb of Nashville. I was also involved in the Masons and have been involved. I'm still a Mason, but I'm not a member of a lodge here. I've been involved. I was president of the CFA Society in Nashville and involved in other industry groups. But I'm looking forward to establishing more connections and relationships and things to do here. And I'm very happy to be here and be in this beautiful part of the country. And drive down the streets and see the fields and forests, and especially the water, because I've never lived on a place which had so much water. Any other questions? I see Katie standing here, and I think that means you know enough about me to whatever?
Well, we thank you, Mal. And I am sure Mal goes up saying, this is the best Rotary Club you've ever been a member of, right?
Yeah, framing is what we call it, that makes it the best.
You like that?
Really appreciate the press. Look forward to not being the most recent Terry. No pressure on you. So, Terry.
You like it? If you didn't catch a brownie that was being distributed, is that they are brownies? I wanted to make sure. Blondie, I'm sorry.
Heck with the brown balls. I'm going with sun and more.
Okay, so Libby brought us some dessert, so help yourself if you didn't get any, take some home, I think. With that said, I'm gonna ask us all to stand and say our three-way test. Four-way test. I'm back in the Girl Scouts. I don't know what happened to me. Sorry. Number one. Concern. Three. No goodwill and better friendships. Four. So concern.
And will we have fun?
Yeah. Thank you guys. See you next week. Oh, man.
Yes. 3 weeks. 3 weeks.